There are some questions men rarely bring to the dinner table, questions they don't share with their friends, questions they sometimes don't even say out loud to themselves. But in the quiet moments, when the mind finally settles, those questions return. And one of the most common is this: what really happens to my body if I ejaculate every single day? Let me tell you, this is not a strange question. It is one of the most natural, understandable questions a man could ask about his own health. Many men think about it. Very few ever ask it. I'm Dr. Rebecca, a urologist. For more than 12 years, I've listened to men in their 20s, 30s, 40s, men who are confident and energetic, and men in their 50s and 60s who feel their bodies shifting in ways they can't quite explain. Through all these conversations, one thing has become clear to me. This question is never only about the body. It's about how a man understands himself, his emotions, his energy, and the rhythm of his entire life. In my clinic, I've seen stronger men than most people will ever meet. Men who lead companies, raise families, carry heavy responsibilities, yet lower their voices when talking about their own sexual health. I remember one afternoon, a man in his late 30s, calm on the outside, walked in, closed the door gently, sat down and said, "Doctor, is it okay if I do it every day?" He wasn't embarrassed. He just wanted clarity. He wanted someone he could trust. And that moment reminded me of something important. Men don't lack curiosity. They just lack a safe space to ask. Some men are afraid daily ejaculation will weaken them. Some believe it keeps their energy flowing and their stress levels low. Some use it as an emotional escape valve, a private pressure release. But underneath all of that is one shared desire. Men want to understand what their body is trying to tell them. Your body speaks. The problem is you rarely get the chance to listen. Let me paint the picture for you, not clinically but visually. When you reach climax and ejaculate, your body lights up like a small electrical storm. Signals flash between your brain and your nervous system, activating deeply embedded patterns shaped over millions of years. And suddenly, endorphins sweep in, softening tension like a warm cloth. Dopamine kicks your reward center awake. Oxytocin brings a feeling of closeness, even if you're by yourself. And serotonin smooths your mood like someone dimming the lights in a room. This is why many men feel calm, lighter, steady, or sleepy after releasing. Biologically, it is the body's way of hitting a reset button after a stressful day. Research backs this up. Regular ejaculation can reduce stress, improve blood flow, and in reasonable amounts, may even help reduce prostate cancer risk. Your body is brilliant. Healthy sexual activity is one of the ways it maintains equilibrium, but there is still a deeper question here. Do I do it because I truly want to, or because my body has become dependent on it? The line between a healthy rhythm and a subconscious compulsion can be razor thin. I once spoke with a young man just 28 years old, sharp, ambitious, talented. But he sat across from me, his eyes tired, and admitted, "Doctor, I think about it all the time. It's distracting me at work." I asked him gently, "Is this a real need, or just a habit that grew roots?" He paused. His eyes lowered, and he whispered, "I think I just got used to it." That's the part many men don't realise. When dopamine is triggered over and over again, the brain can reduce its response. You start to need more, or something faster, more intense, just to feel the same. That's why men often tell me, "I don't feel it the way I used to." They haven't lost their ability. They've lost sensitivity, the natural height of the experience. This isn't about shame, it's about understanding your own wiring. But let's be fair, ejaculation is not the enemy. When done consciously and intentionally, it can be incredibly healthy. I've seen men reduce stress, improve sleep, and clear emotional tension simply by listening to their body's natural rhythm. One of my patients, a 55-year-old man, once told me, "I thought desire just dies with age, but honestly, I feel alive again." He wasn't taking supplements. He didn't find a miracle cure. He simply took better care of his body, ate cleaner, slept better, stayed active, and allowed himself to follow a natural, non-forced sexual rhythm. By doing so, he rediscovered a version of himself he thought he had lost. That is what I call physiological maturity, Not doing more, not doing less, but doing what aligns with your body's actual needs. Science is surprisingly clear on some aspects. A well-known Harvard study followed over 30,000 men for nearly 2 decades. The finding? Men who ejaculated at least 21 times a month had a notably lower risk of prostate cancer. Why? Because the prostate is like a tiny biological filter. When you flush it regularly, dead cells and inflammation are cleared out, just like rinsing a bottle before residue builds up. However, if you're trying to improve fertility, the rules shift a bit. Sperm need 48 to 72 hours to rebuild in quality and quantity. Spacing releases 2 to 3 days apart can be beneficial in that case, and that's why I always repeat, there is no universal formula. There is only your body, and how well you listen to it. Now let's talk about something rarely discussed: body awareness. Understanding the rhythm of your body isn't something men are usually taught. There's no handbook, no class, no father-to-son conversation that typically covers this. But it matters. One of my patients tried a simple experiment. He wrote down how he felt after each release. Was he tired, clear-headed, empty, calm, creative? After a couple of weeks, patterns started to emerge. Some days, his body absolutely needed recovery. Other days, releasing helped him think, focus, and feel more emotionally grounded. That was the moment he finally understood. He wasn't being controlled by impulse anymore. He was choosing consciously. That is what I hope every man eventually learns, to recognize his body. S signals the same way he recognizes hunger, exhaustion, or stress. So, is ejaculating every day good or bad? That's the wrong question. The deeper question, the one that actually matters, is, why am I doing it? If it's for relaxation, connection, or self-care, wonderful. If it's to fill loneliness, suppress feelings, or escape discomfort, then it may slowly be taking control away from you. I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm here to remind you, sexual health is not shameful. It is part of being human. It's part instinct, part emotional intelligence, and part understanding yourself at a deeper level. What matters most is not the number, but the intention. Not more or less, but alignment. Remember this. You're not weak for wanting answers. You're not strange for being curious. You're not alone for wondering how your body works. In fact, that curiosity is a sign of maturity, a man ready to understand himself more fully. Take care of your body, listen to it, respect its rhythm, and live with confidence, vitality, and peace, every day in your own way. If this message supported you, feel free to like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this today. Because knowing your body is the first step toward living stronger, freer, and more fulfilled.